I'm Knolly Williams, and I'm with Keller Williams Southwest Market Center in Austin, Texas. You know, I've been a client with MyOutDesk for just a little bit over a year. And here's the thing, when I first started, I talked to the owner, Daniel Ramsey, and I didn't think that a VA was gonna work for me, to be honest with you. And within a couple of months, I went from not only having one full-time VA, but to having two full-time VAs. And now, just a little bit over a year later, I have 3 full-time VAs. It's been a game changer. So because I like to contribute and give back, what my virtual assistants do for me, I've got one full-time that does nothing but event coordinating. And so last year, my wife and I were able to go to 34 cities and teach my Success with Listings class. I took over 1,000 listings my first 10 years as an agent. And now I'm into contributing, giving back, teaching agents how they can be successful with listings. And so I have one VA that does nothing but help book my events. And then I've got another VA that's like sort of an ISA type person. And then I have a small software company, and I have another VA that runs that for me full time. Yeah, the way that I successfully onboarded my people when I brought them on was I trained them. You know, I'm a systems person. I like to document. But the cool thing about MyOutDesk is that there's a lot of training. There's weeks and weeks of training before they ever come to me. And there's like a 35 some odd page report that I get with their DISC assessment and their resume and all kinds of information, so that I can look and see, is this person possibly a right fit even before I do all the interview process. So I onboard with a pretty good system, and then I train my people. Like my first VA, I trained for about 7 days. And the cool thing was she was able to just snap in and get it right away. So she was off and running, and then she was able to document a lot of my systems. You know, the way that I communicate with my VAs on a day-to-day basis is kind of strange. I was used to calling my assistant or being at the office, and you know, she'd walk in or whatever. But now we started using Skype, and then we went to Viber. You know, it's a free app. And we just Viber each other. We're like going all day long, and that's kind of the way that I communicate. I have a weekly phone call with them, but I tell you, it's freed up my life. I've spent 2 weeks in Maui a couple weeks ago, and my VAs just ran my business while I was gone. We didn't lose any production and any business while I was out, so I absolutely love it. So probably one of the biggest concerns or thoughts that I had about hiring a VA that was potentially overseas was the communication. You know, are they going to have good diction? Are they going to be able to articulate? Do they have good English? And I was just blown away with the communication skills, not only, you know, in emails and written communications, but also on the phone. You know, we get a lot of calls that come in. We actually get hundreds of calls every week. And my people are amazing with their articulation and their diction, and their communication skills are just outstanding. We went, with my first VA, we went about 8 months without anybody being able to guess that she was from anywhere outside of Texas. And finally, one guy kind of was like guessing based on her name or something like that, that she might be overseas. But people really don't know, and they really don't care, because they have such good communication skills. The way I would equate my return on investment, the biggest thing I would say is that it's been a life changer in that it's freed up my time. You know, people say that time is money, and I don't really believe that. I believe that time is so much more important than money. It's more precious than money. And so by spending a little bit of money, I've been able to get my life back. I've been able to get my time back. And that's so much more precious. I spend time with my family. I'm actually able to get off work at 2 or 3 o'clock, sometimes by noon. And my VAs are taking care of everything. So it's been a game changer as far as my the business that I'm doing, That's up 124%. So I'm spending less time and I'm making more money. That's what we all want. The one thing I would say to an agent that's thinking about having a VA, virtual assistant with MyOutDesk, is when you think about, I'm a big lister. Like I said, I took 1,000 listings in 10 years. And when you look at the listing process, I've broken it down to 46 specific steps that go from the time you lead generate to the time that you close on it and after the closing. There's 46 steps. Really, as a top listing agent, you should only be doing 3, 2, or maybe one of those things, right? But at the most 3 of those 46 steps. Your VA can do pretty much everything else. So if you really want to kind of save your life, save your time, do more production. If you're happy with the hours you're working, but you want to double your income, double your business, MyOutDesk is where it's at.